Hey guys, it's Leslie Fightmaster with Fightmaster Yoga. Today's class is a 30-minute total body vinyasa flow, and we're gonna do some handstands. So, don't do handstands if you have high blood pressure or glaucoma, or if you have injuries in your spine, or if it is your monthly moon cycle. Don't do it. You can stay with downward facing dog or put your legs up the wall and get 2 blocks and a strap and a blanket if you want to pad up your knees or if you want to sit on the edge of a blanket. And we're also going to do a little pranayama practice in the beginning. A lot of you like the pranayama, so let's roll out our mats and get going. We'll begin sitting. So sitting up nice and tall. Just find your breath. Take a few long inhales and exhales. And pay attention to the sitting bones rooting down into the ground and then lift away from there. And then as you're settling into your breath, take a moment to think of your intention today. So an intention is really anything you'd like to make it. And I always like to think about why I've come to the mat today. So why did you roll out your mat today? Bring your hands together and take a moment to think of that and set any intention you like. And then release the hands. We're going to begin with some pranayama. I know a lot of you say that you like the pranayama practice. So if you want to sit up on a block or a blanket to lengthen your spine while we sit, you're welcome to. So this is called Kapalabhati. So remember Kapalabhati, take a long inhale and exhale, and then the inhale again. This time we're going to start to force out the exhales. Ready? Go. Keep going. Inhales are passive, exhales are forced out through the nose if you can. Inhale and hold. Hold the breath in, drop your chin down, lift your belly, lift your pelvic floor muscles. Keep holding here. Hold, hold, hold if you can. And then release, exhale. And then take a long inhale, equal exhale. I'm going to do another breath in, and we're going to do another round of 54 pumps. So inhale and begin. So keep going, exhaling through the nose. Every time you exhale, you're pulling your belly, pressing the belly out, pulling it in. Firming the belly muscles, warming the body from the inside. Continue on. Inhale and hold the breath in. Again, drop the chin, lift the belly, lift all your pelvic floor muscles, and just hold here. Keeping the belly pulled in, the chin dropped down. That's Jalandhara Bandha. And then release, exhale. Long breath in. And an exhale, and then we'll come off of our blocks if you have one and come onto your back, get a strap handy. And we're going to take Supta Padangusthasana, so extending the right leg up first, but draw your right knee into your chest and circle your right ankle in one direction first, and then circle it in the other direction. Then take your legs straight up. You can hold behind the thigh, you can hold the leg, the toe, or grab your strap, put it on the ball of the right foot. And then draw your right hip forward. Breathing here. Just going to take some long, smooth breaths. We're going to work up, as I mentioned, to handstands. So one of the things we want to do is stretch out those hamstrings so that we can lift the leg up easily. Take a couple more breaths. Make sure the foot is flexed. Now left hand to left thigh. Open the leg to the right. But keep the left hip down. Don't let it pop up. Look over the left shoulder. Breathing here. Make sure you're not creating any tension in the neck or the shoulders or the jaw. And inhale, come back through center and switch hands, exhale and twist. So we're going to draw that right hip again a little bit forward, and as you're twisting, turn your belly up to face the ceiling. Look over the right shoulder and breathe. Long breaths in your twist. Really good for your digestion. Inhale, center. And then lift your head and shoulders. Draw the leg in for 3 and 2 and 1. Release it. And now lift up your head and shoulders and lift your other leg off the floor, your left leg up. So using abs to hold you. Couple breaths here, warming up the abs. Then take the knees together, hands on the floor or not. Come up to Navasana boat pose. Lift the chest, make sure your back is not rounded. You can always hold on behind the knees for more support. Keep breathing. Just another breath, and then slowly start to lean back. If it hurts your back, put your hands down. Otherwise, you're slowly coming onto your back. Draw your left knee into your chest. Circle the left ankle in one direction. And reverse it. And then extending your left leg up. You can put that strap on the ball of the foot, or you can hold on behind the thigh or take the toe. And then wherever you are with that, draw your left hip forward so your hips are level. And breathe here. Make sure the right toes point up to the ceiling. And then release any tension, the neck, the shoulders, the jaw. Keep the chin away from the chest. Let those hamstrings stretch out. Right hand on right leg and hip. Exhale the left leg open to the left, keeping the right hip grounded down. And then look over the right shoulder. So we'll get a little external rotation in our leg and open up the hip slightly, or maybe a lot, depending on how deep you go. Remember, just go to a place where you feel the stretch. You don't have to go any deeper than that. It's not about how deep you get into the stretch. You want to keep the stability of your body and then stretch from there. Inhale, center. Switch hands with the strap and exhale to twist. Looking over your left shoulder and drawing the left hip again slightly forward. Turn the belly up toward the ceiling. And then back to center, inhale, and lift the head and shoulders, exhale for 3, 2. Now keep the head and shoulders up, lift the right leg off the floor, keep reaching your fingertips toward the feet or toward the front of the mat, pull the belly in, lengthen the neck. Hands on the floor or not, come all the way up to Navasana, boat pose. Keep the chest lifted, don't let your back round. Now straighten your right leg, squeeze the knees together, and now your left leg. And then bend it, and squeeze the knees, straighten the right leg, and bend it. Inhale, squeeze the knees, straighten the left leg, and both legs if you can. And then bend the knees, roll forward, and we'll make our way into child's pose. So you're going to take the hips back to the heels, but keep the arms extended in front. Spread the fingers wide, shoulders distance apart with the arms, and turn the triceps down toward the floor. Wrap them down. Then start to tuck the toes into downward facing dog, arms shoulder distance, feet hips width. Bend both knees, stick your buns way up high like you're trying to touch your belly to your thighs, and then straighten out the right leg. Bend both knees, and then straighten out the left leg. And then bend both knees, stick your buns up, keep that length, and then reach both heels toward the floor. Spreading the fingers, press into the base of the fingers as your forearms lift away. And again, those outer upper arms, triceps spin back. Inhale, plank pose, and take the knees down to table. Turn your inner elbows forward slightly so they face the front. If you have hyperextension, like your elbow goes past straight, take a little tiny bend in the elbow. Keep that, and then slowly begin to lift back into down dog as if you could keep your inner elbows facing the front. Then press extra weight into the thumb and first finger sides of your hands. So again, if your elbows go past straight, imagine I'm standing in front of you. I've got my hands on your triceps on the outer upper arms, and you're pressing out into my arms to get those arms to firm. Look forward, step your feet up. Take an inhale, halfway up, and an exhale to fold. Press down through the feet. Inhale, reach tall, and exhale to Samastitihi. Actually, not yet. Hook your thumbs. Pull your arms away from each other, and with the thumbs hooking, and now exhale, lean to the right side, stretching the left side of the body. Keep the ribs in. Keep the hip bones lifting. Inhale, center, ribs in, and then exhale, now lift up, pull the arms away from each other, tailbones lengthening down, lean to the left. So as your arms are by your ears and you're pulling the arms away from each other, pull the front ribs in, lift the hip bones up, tailbone down, and come back to center and release. I'm going to come to Tadasana at the front of the mat. Feet hips width or together. Press evenly through the feet. Lift up through the kneecaps. Tailbone down. Belly in and up. And inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, hinge forward from the hips into Uttanasana. Hips over heels if the legs are straight. Come halfway up. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga, elbows in, shoulders no lower than elbows. Inhaling, upward facing dog, inner thigh spin up. Exhaling, downward facing dog. So make sure arms are shoulders distance, feet are hips width. Pull your ribs in and up. And reach the weight down toward the heels. Imagine you're holding a block between your inner thighs and you're giving it a little squeeze. That'll firm your leg muscles. And make sure the legs are engaged. Another round of breath. Bend the knees, look up, step or hop your feet. Take an inhale to lengthen and an exhale to fold. Press through the feet, rise up, inhale, ribs in, exhale, hands to heart. Inhale again, sweep the arms up, tailbone down, exhale, fold in. Long spine as you fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, chest forward, look up. Exhale, step or float back. If you float back, land in a chaturanga. Then inhale, press through the hands and feet, shoulders right above the wrists. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog pose. Pull in through the ribs and belly as you're breathing here. Probably see a lot of people walking by. There was a lot of movement here today with people doing some gardening in the area. Such a pretty place. Got to keep those flowers looking nice. Look up, hips high, step or hop the feet. Take an inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, fold forward. Then press through the feet. Inhale, stretching nice and tall, ribs in. And exhale the hands down. Inhale, bend the knees into Utkatasana, chair pose. Reach up, ribs in. Exhale, belly to thighs, then straighten the legs. Uttanasana, hips over heels. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float. Hug the elbows in. Inhale, press up through the hands and feet. Keep the belly pulled in. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, lifted from the inner thigh. And exhale, slowly step it up. Stand the ball of the back foot. Inhale for a high lunge. Bend the back knee, drop the tailbone down, lift the hip bones, then straighten it. And now right arm over left for eagle arms. So lift your chest, gently lift the elbows, look up slightly as you bend into that front knee. Make sure the knee stays over the ankle. Now reach the fingertips up and maybe leaning back just slightly, ribs in. And then come on back to center. Take your back foot flat, line up heel to arch. Warrior two, but drop your front hip down. Press your right knee toward the little toe side of the foot. Inhale, release the arms, drop the left arm, reverse your warrior. Then straighten the front leg, reverse triangle. Inhale for triangle pose, hinge from the front hip crease. Reach out and down, right hand to the shin, block or floor. Stretch through the left arm. Exhale, left arm forward. And sweep that left arm down. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, reach it forward, sweep it around. If you feel unstable, like your legs are too wide, by the way, you can always shorten the stance here. Inhale, left arm up. Now bring the left hand behind your back or hook it onto the right thigh. Press into the base of the big toe of your right foot. Roll your top shoulder back. Breathe. One more breath here. And then bring your hands down to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, press through the hands and feet, up dog or cobra, always your choice. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale, left leg lifts from the inner thigh. Exhale, draw it in, lightly step it up for crescent pose. So bend the back knee, drop the tailbone, lift the hip bones. Then left arm over right for eagle arms. Keep lifting the hip bones toward the lower ribs. Make sure that your left knee is directly over your ankle, pointed straight ahead. Chest lifts, elbows lift gently. Maybe looking up if that feels okay on your neck. And then start to lean yourself back a little bit if that works for you. Keep the left hip drawing back. Inhale through center. Take the back foot flat. Line up front heel and back arch. And then make sure your left knee is directly over your middle toes. You're going to press it toward the little toe side of your front foot. Then inhale, release the arms, and drop the right arm reverse. Bend into the front knee, and now straighten the front leg. A reverse triangle. And I forgot to do it, but don't you forget. And shifting from the front hip crease, reach out and down for Trikonasana triangle pose. And again, if you want to shorten the stance here, that's fine. It's more stable that way for some. Inhale, reach your right arm in line with your ear. Exhale, slowly make a big circle. Inhale, reach the arm up and over. And then exhale, big circle around. Inhale, the arm reaches up. And then take the hand behind you to the low back or reach around, hook it on the thigh. Keep pressing down into the base of the big toe of your left foot as you draw that left hip underneath you and lean your torso over your front thigh. Crown of the head's reaching forward and then looking up as long as that's okay on your neck. And let's release it. Bring the hands to the mat. Come to plank and exhale through chaturanga. Then inhale into upward facing dog, toes straight back, and exhale into downward facing dog. Stretch back nice and long through the spine. Keep the ribs and belly drawing in. Inhale, step the right foot up and forward. Take the left knee down to the floor this time. And now straighten the right leg for half Hanumanasana. Fold over the right leg, pull the right hip back. Keep pulling the right toes back as well. Now you can stay with half Hanumanasana, or you can start to slide out towards splits. If you have blocks, block on either side works great, or one block underneath the front leg also works great. But make sure your back toes are straight back behind you and avoid the temptation to just open up the hips to get lower. So pull your right hip back. We want to try and keep the hips as level as you can. So your left hip's rolling forward and the right hip's pulling back. And then we'll make our way back into plank. Chaturanga. Very slow chaturanga. Press up to plank. Knees can be down here. Chaturanga. Then inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do the other leg. Left leg up, step it forward. Right knee to the floor. Feel free to pat up your right knee. And then straightening your left leg for half Hanumanasana, fold forward, pull the left hip back, send the right hip forward. So hips are squared here toward the front of the mat. We want to keep it that way if you're going to slide out. So see, it would be easy for me to just go ahead and roll onto my left hip, but we want to keep the hips level, safer for the body. Make sure the back toes are straight back behind you. Breathe here. And don't worry if you don't get all the way down to the floor in your split. I'm not all the way down to the floor in my split today either. So we're going to make our way back into table. And then actually we'll just sit back on the hips and grab a strap if you have it. Put it just above your elbows and make it kind of tight so that when you pull the strap apart, your elbows don't go wider than your shoulders. Now turn and find a wall. We're going to take handstands, and feel free to not do handstands. Okay, you can set up for the handstand, lifting one leg up, shoulders over wrists, and take your hop. Maybe you'll come up into the handstand, maybe you won't. But with that strap, pull your arms gently apart to help get the arms engaged, ribs in. So kind of like when we did in the beginning and we had our thumbs hooked. And when you're ready, come down, take a rest. Child's pose always after you go upside down. So if you're not going upside down, you can stay with downward facing dog. You could also put your legs up the wall, or you can practice just little kicks. as if you're going to, because if you're not used to handstands, it is scary by all means in the beginning. But you start in a shorter down dog, step 1 foot forward, lift the other foot up, shoulders over wrist, keep the gaze forward, take your hop. Maybe find the wall. If you do happen to get up, keep your gaze forward, pull your ribs in, reach your tailbone up to your heels, and squeeze your legs like you're holding a block between the legs. Keep the ribs and belly lifted, and then come down when you're ready and take a child's pose every time. Every time. I was saying every time and it looked like I wasn't going to do it. I was going to yell at myself, but nope, every time. And now if you want to practice that some more, push the pause button and continue on a few more rounds if you like. If you want to keep going with the practice, roll onto your back for bridge pose. Feet hips width, outer edges of the feet parallel, press up, roll the shoulders under, spiral the thighs in, keep the chin away from your chest and breathe. Come down to rest. If you do another bridge, or if you would like wheel, hands up by the ears, elbows point straight up. Come to the crown of the head, line up your wrists under your elbows, squeeze the elbows gently together, then press up. Stretch out the front of the body, tailbone reaches towards backs of knees, chest toward the wall that you can see. And then to come down, bring your chin in and lower. And one more bridge or supported bridge. If you've got a block handy, grab it, put it at the base of the spine, and come into supported bridge. And put it in the lowest height, the middle, or the highest height, up to you. And then come on down and hug your knees into your chest, rock side to side. And then roll yourself back and forth to come up to seated. Sit up nice and tall, extend the legs for Dandasana. Then bend your right knee for Janu Shirsasana. Inhale, arms reach up, turn toward the straight leg. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale to extend. Keep pulling the left toes back. If your right knee is up high, you can always rest a block underneath your right leg. Relax the shoulders and jaw. Watch for the rounded back. Make sure you're trying to get as much length as you can. Head up, inhale, and release. Then take your left hand behind your back, right arm up, inhale, exhale, take it across and twist. As you inhale, sit up nice and tall, and as you exhale, roll your left shoulder back. And head to center, inhale, and unwind. Soles of feet together, knees apart, sit tall, inhale, exhale, hinge forward for Baddha Konasana. So keeping the spine long for this one, flat back if you can. So instead of bending at the waist, you'll hinge from the hips. And then inhale, come up. And straighten which leg is that? The right leg. Keep the left knee bent. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, turn toward the straight leg. Extend, hinging from the hips. Lengthen. And then extending forward. Exhale. Pull those left toes back to keep the left leg nice and firm. And again, instead of bending from the waist, don't worry about getting in deep. You can also put a strap around your foot and use the strap. If you can't reach the foot, no problem. Or hold the leg. Head up, inhale, and release. Right hand behind left arm up, inhale, take it across, twist, exhale. So as you inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, roll your right shoulder back and twist. Inhale, head to center. Exhale, unwind. Take soles of feet together. Slide your feet forward about a foot. And now we'll round down the forehead toward the feet. So you can round your back this time. Give it a good stretch. Inhale and come up.
Let's make our way onto our backs. And happy baby. Take the pinky toe sides of the feet. Draw the knees toward the armpits. Gently rock side to side as you lengthen your tailbone toward the floor to stretch out your spine. Release. We're going to lengthen the tailbone again toward the heels and draw the shoulder blades toward the waist. Shavasana. Let your feet flop open. Your arms by your side, your palms facing up. And then just let everything go. Relax. Quiet mind, quiet body. Shavasana. I will be back in a couple minutes. You rest. Natural breathing. Start to make some movements, longer breaths. Stretch out your arms and your legs. Nice long stretch. And then bend the knees, rolling to your right. And just pausing there a moment for gratitude. Let's make our way up to seated. Let's bring our hands together in front of the heart. Hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. And our hands to the heart, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. Our hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communication, sending out wonderful energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Our quote comes from the Buddha. The thought manifests as the word manifests as the deed develops into habit, and habit hardens into character. So watch the thought and the ways with care. And let it spring from love, born out of concern for all beings. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's practice. Drink plenty of water. Don't forget to push the like button and tell your friends and subscribe. And if you can afford to support Fightmaster Yoga, there is a link below for donations. And go to fightmasteryoga.com and check out our daily class, and also you can donate there as well. What else? I think the most important thing is have a wonderful day. Bye.